So what is exercising by role? Well, in our current culture, we have a lot of confusion surrounding exercise, and this, of course, is rooted in our confusion about ourselves. We don't understand who we are, why we're here, how we're supposed to function, what we're supposed to be doing. So how in the world do we think we can come up with a reasonable explanation for exercise? If you want to understand exercise, you have to look at the foundation of human beings. What were we created to do? Very specifically, if you look at human creation, in the Garden of Eden, we were given 3 tasks: to subdue, to fill, and to rule creation. We understand these 3 roles that we're supposed to play by the characters we make in movies: the warrior, the wizard, and the will. So the purpose of exercise is strengthening your ability to play the role of the warrior, the wizard, or the will. Now, what is the purpose of the warrior, the wizard, and the will? The warrior, the wizard, and the will exist to visibly display the body, the heart, and the mind. So as the warrior, you subdue creation through your body. As the wizard, you fill creation through your heart. And as the will, you rule creation through your mind. But the thing you need to understand is the body, heart, and mind are creative engines that serve you. What do they serve you with, though? With the creation of actions, feelings, and images. So when you exercise as the warrior, the purpose is to create powerful action. When you exercise as the wizard, the purpose is to create powerful feelings. And the purpose when you create as the will is to create a powerful image. So as you approach exercise, you have to look at it from the foundations of the human existence: to act, to feel, and to create an image, to use the body, heart, and the mind to display the role you choose of either the warrior, the wizard, and the will. And exercise aids you in playing the role that you choose. So how does the warrior exercise? Now currently, and it will probably always be this way, but warriors dominate the exercise landscape because warriors are driven to do things, and they can do awesome things. They can climb, they can throw, they can lift, they do all these amazing things, and that's going to keep them in the position of dominance in the world of exercise. So we're going to start here and then look at the wizard and the will as well. So warriors are action-oriented in their motivations. A warrior exercises because they want to do something. They want to lift things, they want to run, they want to climb stuff. They're action-oriented. Now this seems really obvious. However, as soon as a warrior starts getting focused on feelings, how it feels to be strong, or how it looks to be strong, they start decaying. Why? Because a warrior is only motivated by the actions. A warrior is not motivated by how it feels to lift things or how it looks to lift things. A warrior is motivated by doing the lifting. So the motivations for a warrior are action driven. And then you measure by the actions. You measure how many times you lifted, how fast you ran, or how high you climbed. It's got to be measured. If you don't measure as a warrior, if you don't measure your actions specifically, you're going to get confused, frustrated, annoyed, because your body doesn't know if it's accomplishing anything. The purpose the body wants to learn with the warrior is, how do I do amazing things? Then you get the manifestations of doing those actions in an amazing way. You run faster, you jump higher, you climb greater heights. You're getting manifestations in line with your motivations. And you need to measure according to that. If you ever veer from this and you start not getting the results you want, you're going to get depressed as the warrior. You need to have action-oriented motivations, measurements, and manifestations. So a warrior's exercise creates greater actions. That's the purpose. A warrior wants to subdue creation through actions. So if you choose the warrior path, keep yourself focused on actions, and exercise will make perfect sense to you. Now we also need to look at the wizard. Wizards get a bad rap in the exercise realm. Why? Because wizards are feeling motivated. Wizards aren't motivated by lifting things or running faster or jumping higher. Wizards want to feel something, feel alive, or feel connected, or feel at peace. So you don't want to make your motivations about actions if you choose the wizard path. Instead, keep it about feelings. Let's take a simple example here. When a wizard's young, they might eat ice cream. And they feel good. It's sweet, it's energizing. And then what do? They eat a lot of ice cream. And then they get sick. And then they go, oh, maybe ice cream isn't what makes me feel good. And they look around, they see, hey, there's these people exercising, they're lifting things, they look like they're having fun, that looks like it would feel good. So what do? They go to the gym and they lift all these weights and they run really super hard, and the next day they're so sore they can't even move. And then they go, well, this doesn't make me feel good either, and they throw exercise away just like they did ice cream. So as a wizard, you want to understand that your motives for exercise, which we all do have the drive for exercise, is to learn how to create feelings. And then you want to measure by those feelings. And you say, well, how can you measure your exercise by how you feel? Well, it's difficult to verbalize, but a wizard understands this. A wizard gets it immediately. You know how you feel. And as a wizard, your heart is skilled enough to gauge the growth of emotions inside you. And feelings are living things. It's like a plant. If you give it too much water, it doesn't do well. If you give it too much sun, it doesn't do well. So when you exercise as a wizard, you want to stay away from extreme lifting, extreme cardio, because you'll be sore. You'll hurt the emotions. Even though it's good to exercise, if you do too much, it'll hurt the feelings. So you want to find what manifests an ever-increasing feeling, a feeling that you want, a feeling of peace or energy or strength, whatever it is, but be careful you don't damage the feeling. So stay away from the extremes of exercise that oftentimes warriors are going to portray, and warriors are supposed to do that. They always want to do something extreme. An extreme action. Why? Because they're action motivated. But beware of that as a wizard. You want to make your exercise something that's a steadily increasing system that allows your feelings to cultivate themselves into an ever increasing expression. So a wizard's exercise creates greater feelings. It's this wonderful arena that you can learn how to create not just feelings in general, but a specific type or grouping of feelings that you want. You want to play this wizard role, but you want to do it for a meaningful purpose. And your heart wants to know, hey, why are we making these emotions? Why are we going to cultivate these feelings? It's a lot of work. Like, tell me what we're going to do. Are we going to embrace people and saturate them with the touch of our body, with warmth, comfort, energy, passion? What are we going to do? What are we here for? The heart wants to know. And it's your job to lay that out as the creator. So what about the will? Of the warrior, the wizard, and the will gets the worst rap in the exercise world. Why? Because the will has an image-oriented motivation, particularly a bodily image. And in our culture, you're not supposed to be focused on the bodily image. But if you ask anybody that rules in small or big ways, whether they rule a country or they rule a household, they understand that the power of an image is paramount. This is the nature of the will. You're going to create an image in your exercise, a bodily image. Now, what you need to understand is that this bodily image isn't what you see in the mirror. It's what is created through clothing, through posture, through body language. This total image is what the will wants to create. And this is generally why wills shy away from lifting heavy weights. Because it would create arms or legs that would be disproportionate. The muscles would be too big and it would detract from the whole image. So when a will exercises, it's to create a whole unified image, a bodily image that's going to impact the world in a specific way. And you need to measure that. And again, this is traditionally difficult to measure, but the will's very good at this. And remember, this isn't just about when you look in the mirror, like how many pounds or your waistline. That's not the image. The image is the total wholeness of your person. That includes softness of the hair, glow of the skin, sparkle in the eyes, posture, your presence as you move through a room. That's the image. Very difficult to measure if you're not a will. If you're a will, you get it. And that's what you want to always keep central when you're exercising as the will, because you will manifest an ever-increasing potent image. And you are that image. You want to be that image to imprint your nature onto creation. That's what you're supposed to do as the ruling will. So a will's exercise creates a greater image. And you can see the purpose of exercise is to help each role, whichever role you choose to play, increase the potency by which you subdue, fill, or rule creation.